You are about to feel better. Today's yoga class is beginner's yoga for flexibility and relaxation. Grab 2 yoga blocks and a yoga mat, put on something comfortable, and we'll get started. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell because I don't want you to miss any yoga. Remember, practice yoga, feel better. I'm Leslie Fightmaster, and this is Fightmaster Yoga.
We'll begin sitting. Sit up as tall as you can. Take a couple of long breaths, closing your eyes. Let's bring the hands together in front of the hearts. May our practice today help us to continue our transformational journey to feeling better. And then roll yourself forward, right onto your hands and knees, right into table position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Draw your lower belly in and up, and as you inhale, bring your chest forward, lift your chin, gently lift the tailbone, and then as you exhale, start to tuck and round your back, and then take your hips all the way back into the heels for child's pose. We're going to do this a few times. So inhale to come forward, widen your collarbones, lifting chin and tailbone. Exhale, round the back, chin toward chest, draw the belly in and up, take hips back toward heels. Let's try a little longer breath. So inhale, slowly coming forward all the way. One breath in, and then one long exhale, chin toward chest, rounding back, hips toward heels. Nice and slow. And one more time, nice long, smooth inhale, slowly coming forward, lengthening out the breath. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself back into your child's pose. Remember the breath in and out through the nose with that little constriction in the back of the throat. Inhale again, come back to table. Walk your hands so they're underneath the shoulders again. And now we'll step the right foot up by the right hand and tuck your back toes under. Pat up your left knee if you have any discomfort there at all. Use a pillow or a blanket. And then rest your hands on your leg, the right leg, pull the right hip back, inhale, arms reach up. Remember to watch that the rib cage pulls in, and then keep the belly lifted, perhaps sinking forward a little bit. And then inhale back out, drop the tailbone down, keep the belly lifted, exhale, sink forward any amounts. Inhale again, backing out, pull the right hip back. Exhale, sinking forward. Make sure the right knee stays over the ankle even as you sink forward. Holding here, stretch up through the arms, shoulder blades relax, and then bring the hands on the inside of the right foot. Inhale, bring your chest forward. If you can't reach the floor, I recommend hands on blocks or a big thick book. Keep pulling the right hip back, shoulder blades toward the waist. And then exhale. Take that right leg back and return to table. We'll do the other leg now. So inhale, stepping the left foot up by the left hand. Pat up the right knee if it needs any padding. Rest your hands on your leg, pulling left hip back. Tuck the back toes under, and then reach both arms up as you inhale, being careful that the ribs stay drawing in and that the tailbone stays lengthening down. And then next exhale, start to sink in a little bit, but keep the belly lifted. Inhale back out of it, pull left hip back. Exhale, sinking in, stretching out the hip flexor on that right side. Inhale back out, stretching up tall. Exhale, sinking in. Remember, keep the left knee over the ankle even as you sink in. Inhale, backing out a bit. Exhale, sinking forward. And holding here, pull the left hip back. Reach up through arrow straight arms. You can even take the arms wider. Exhale, bring hands on inside of left foot. Pull the chest forward. Make a nice long spine on your inhale and stay here for your exhale. Remembering that you can put your hands on a block or some sort of Encyclopedia Britannica and then make your way back to table and then extended child's pose. Do they even still have Encyclopedia Britannica? I'm not sure. Now, make your way back up, grab your 2 blocks, and bring them by the front of the mat. You may or may not use them, but have them handy. Make your way back to table and then step the right foot forward again. This time we'll bring the blocks on either side of the right foot. Pull the right hip back, sit up nice and tall. Make sure not rounding the spine, but keeping a long spine. Tuck the back toes under, lift the belly, and then exhale, start to straighten the front leg any amount, folding forward, hinging at the hip creases to keep the back nice and long. Inhale, bend the knee, keep the knee over the ankle into your lunge. And exhale, straighten the leg, pull the hip back, folding forward. Stretching the hamstrings. Inhale again, bend the knee, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten the leg and fold over your straight right leg. And inhale, make your way forward again into your lunge. And exhale once again, straighten the leg. Keep pulling your right hip back and squeeze your left hip in towards center for stability. Holding here, take a couple breaths, release the shoulder blades, soften the jaw. Now rebend that knee and then take your blocks on the inside of the right foot. So here you can stay with your hands on the blocks or your hands on the ground. Or you can take your block and take your forearms onto the block to go in a little bit deeper. And the block can be any height. You can even put one forearm on each block. But pull the right hip back and draw your right knee in toward your right shoulder so that your knee is pointed over your middle toes. That'll keep your knee safe. Take another breath and then inhale, come on up and make your way back to table, setting up your blocks again at the front of your mat. Draw the belly in and up. Step the left foot forward, right in line with the knee, so ankle and knee line up. Hands on blocks, keeping the spine nice and long. Widen your collarbones. And tuck your back toes under for a little more stability. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Hinge from your hip creases to fold over the leg. Keep your back nice and flat. Inhale, bend the knee. Knee over ankle, pointed over the middle toes. Exhale, straighten the leg and fold over the leg. Again, inhale, bending the knee. Pull your left hip back, squeeze your right hip in towards center. And exhale, straighten the leg, still pulling left hip back and squeezing right hip in. Inhale to bend the knee. Lift the chest, shoulder blades soften toward the waist. Exhale, straighten the leg, folding forward, keeping a nice long spine. You can even take your blocks lower if you have a little more flexibility today, which never matters how deep you get into a stretch. As long as you feel the stretch, that's what's important. Now we'll bend the left knee again. Bring the blocks on the inside of the left foot. Hands on blocks. You can stay right here, or hands on the mats. Or you can take your forearms onto one or both blocks. Again, draw the left knee in toward the shoulder. Point it straight ahead so it's right over the middle toes. And then try and drop your left hip down toward the mat, lifting your right hip away from the mat so the hips stay level, or the pelvis level. Remember your steady breathing. And then walk yourself up on your inhale. Returning to table, move the blocks out of the way, and then stretch your hips back to the heels for child's pose. Keep the arms extended in front of you. Spread the fingers, come up onto the knees again. Turn your inner elbows gently forward as you tuck your toes and lift your knees up, but keep them bent. So downward facing dog with the knees bent. Stretch out your back, and then return to your knees. And make your way again to child's pose. Make sure your arms are shoulders distance apart. Spread the fingers, press into the base of the fingers, come to the knees, inner elbows gently forward, and stretch back again. Knees bent to stretch out your back, and then straighten through the right leg. Keep left knee bent, and switch. Straighten left, bend right. Make sure your feet are hips width apart. Bend both knees again. And then take the knees back down and hips back to the heels into child's pose. Check in with your breathing. Make sure your inhales and exhales are equal in length. Then back up onto the knees, tucking the toes once again for down dog. Pull your ribs and belly in and up. Stretch out through the right leg, keep left knee bent. Stretch out through the left leg, keeping the right knee bent. Bend left knee, straighten right. Bend right knee, straighten left. Bend both knees, stick your hips way up high, pull in through the ribs and belly, and then straighten both legs as much as they will. If they don't straighten all the way, it's totally okay. Do what you can. And now take the knees back down, hips back to heels, child's pose with the arms extended. This is a great pose to stretch out your back. You can even press into the base of the fingers here and lengthen. Now we're going to come onto the forearms. You can either interlace fingers or press your palms down on the mat, but make sure your elbows don't go wider than the shoulders. Keep them right underneath. Tuck your toes, lift up. This is called dolphin pose. Knees can be bent or straight. If at any time you're putting pressure on your hands and your wrists get tired, then come onto your forearms and take this modification. Dolphin pose does the same thing as down dog. In fact, it strengthens the shoulders a lot. Come back to child's pose to rest. Nice, long, smooth inhales and exhales, and then make your way back up onto the knees, inner elbows gently forward. Come back to down dog. Press a little extra weight into the thumb and first finger side of the hand as you reach your heels toward the mat, any amounts. Try not to walk your feet in closer to the hands because we really want as much length in the spine as we can get. Bend the knees, walk your feet toward your hands. Then bring hands to shins or above knees and lengthen on your inhale. And then fold as you exhale. Bend the knees as needed. Your hands can touch your legs. They don't have to touch the ground. With a really long spine, inhale, come all the way up. Stretch up nice and tall. Watch the ribs though. Pull them in. And then exhale, bring the hands down right by your sides and come to the top of the mat, Tadasana. Feet hips width apart or together. Outer edges of feet parallel, firm the legs. Grab a block and hold it between your inner thighs, and that will firm your legs for you. Outer hips gently pin in and lift the belly. Widen across the collarbones, lift the chest, keep the belly drawing in and up. Shoulder blades toward the waist. So bring shoulders up, back, and down. Let them soften, lift your chest. Keep your chin parallel with the floor. Inhale, circle your arms out, around, and up. Palms face each other at the top. Watch those ribs. As you exhale, bring the arms back down by your sides. Grab your other block if you have it, and palms on the outside of the block. Just press into the block. Inhale, take your arms up and over. They might line up with the ears, they might not, but remember the ribs. Pull them in. You can always have your hands in front of your shoulders if your shoulders feel a little tight here. It's better to do that than let your lower back arch and let your ribs pop out. And then exhale, bring the block back down. Once again, inhale, bring the block up, arms by ears as close as you can, while keeping ribs drawing down and tailbone lengthening toward heels. Arrow straight arms, and exhale, bring the block back down. You can set the blocks down next to your mat. Coming back to Tadasana at the front. Firm the legs, belly in, sweep the arms out, around, and up as you inhale. Look up if it doesn't bother your neck. Exhale, hinge from your hips, come forward with a nice flat back. Hips over heels, then inhale, come halfway up, lengthen out the spine, chest forward. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step your left foot and then right foot back for downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Make sure your feet are hips width apart. Now inhale, come forward to plank, the top of a push-up. Pull your belly in. Now take your knees to the mat and pause. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the knees again, chest forward. Lengthen your sitting bones toward the heels. Make sure your legs are nice and firm. Inhale, knees down, and pause. And take a breath in. Exhale, lift the knees again. Use your belly muscles to hold you here. And use the leg muscles nice and firmly to stabilize. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, child's pose, rest. We use those core muscles to hold us in plank pose, and those are going to get really strong over time. And then come on up, take your hips off to one side so you can extend your legs in front of you. Knees bent, feet on the mat. Hold on behind your thighs. Lift your chest. Shift your weight back so your feet come off the floor. This is a boat pose variation. And then set the feet down. Once again, lift the chest, lean back. Make sure your back doesn't round. So keep lifting the chest. Use your belly muscles to hold you in place. And then release the feet back down. And scoot a little forward so you can roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, gently rocking here side to side. Breathing here. And then take your feet to the mat. Drop your knees over to the left and look over your right shoulder for a gentle twist. As I've mentioned before, twisting is great for keeping the spine healthy. It's also really good for digestion. Inhale, bring your knees to center. Exhale, take them over to the right. Look over the left shoulder. If it bothers your neck to look over the shoulder, you don't have to. You can always look straight up. Do the best you can to turn your belly toward the ceiling as you take your knees to the right. Inhale back through center. Hug your knees to your chest once again. This time lengthen your sitting bones toward the floor to stretch out your lower back. And now release your feet. Keep lengthening your tailbone toward the backs of the knees. Shoulder blades toward the waist. Let your feet flap open. Arms by your sides. Palms up to rest. As you're settling in, our quote today is from Mary Pickford. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. And for now, relax. I'll be back in a moment. Begin to take a couple of deeper breaths. Not moving anything yet, just becoming aware of your breath. Then slowly make some little movements in your fingers and your toes, hands and feet. Inhale, arms overhead one more time. Nice long stretch, and then bend your knees and roll yourself onto your right side. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking your practice. Slowly come on up to seated. In a comfortable seat, bring your hands in front of your heart, palms touching. Let's bring our hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communication, sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Great job, Yogi. You practice yoga, you're feeling better, and if you want more, go to fightmasteryoga.com. click the daily yoga class, and then there's a beginner section. Practice yoga every day, feel better.